All right, welcome to a special live edition of BS with CSR. You usually don't get to see our pretty faces, but today you do. Shane and I didn't get the chance to record a podcast earlier in the week, but with the news breaking last night, we felt like we had to jump on here and give you something. So here we go. Shane, say hello to the people. They usually don't get to see your pretty face and your shiny head.
Well, should I give them the Tennessee howdy? Is that what I should do? Since you just, is that basically what I should do? Howdy.
All right, enough of that because you just ruined the whole show. But
basically,
we got stuff. Finn Balor dropped the NXT title last night at a house show, which is kind of weird, but I don't know what that means. It seems like it could mean that, going into WrestleMania, we thought a Bullet Club's coming. They're going to the main roster. That means Finn has to come up. Then he won at TakeOver. So we thought people started to think, well, maybe Finn's just happy being the face of NXT. Now he drops the title. It looked like they kind of kayfabed an injury last night, but that appears to really just be kayfabe and not real. So what do you think this means, Shane?
A lot of speculation. The first thing I thought of was, I just saw it, right on Twitter and everything, and I was like, to me, automatically Bullet Club, just automatically. As everybody thought. But, then I remember you tweeted me and like, well, they gave up the X. So to me, there's a lot of work going on. It's a lot of work. I don't know. There's so many things up in the air. Where do you go with this whole Bullet Club angle? Are they going to go with the fan reaction where it's going to be what everybody wants, or they're just going to try to piss people off with it,
Well, I'll tell you this. If one of two things is happening, either, and I'm not 100% positive which one it is, either they kayfabe the injury to make people think that he's not, that he's not going to Raw immediately, or Finn and Kevin Owens and a couple other people are kayfabing us all to make and swerving us all to make us think that he is coming immediately because Kevin Owens said, "See you soon, buddy." There's a video that surfaced tonight or this morning of Finn getting on the bus, leaving the event, telling everybody, "I'll see you on Monday." I'm starting to think, I think he's. Oh, and Finn posted on Twitter, 292 days, the end.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, unless it's just this big work, which WWE seems to get off on working the fans lately.
Oh, yeah.
They don't. I feel like he's coming up to the main roster. He's done it in NXT. There's nothing more he can do. He kept the title for almost a year. There's not a lot more the dude can do.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's coming up, he's got to come up for the Bullet Club, doesn't he? He's got to be a part of it.
I would say so. Mainly because it's just too obvious. Like, Finn has been one of those people that has used social media to his biggest advantage. He's posting things like, caricatures and like pictures and just everything of Bullet Club for months now. So it's almost like he's built the fans up to this, crescendo here, and it's almost like it's got to pay off somehow. Again, you saw it. I'm sure you follow his Instagram or his Twitter. He's always posting something about Bullet Club. So it's like, it makes you wonder, is he kind of working the fans so much, or is it like actually going to come to fruition and we're going to see a true Bullet Club in WWE?
Right. And which now that brings into play what's been going on Raw starting last week. Gallows and Anderson debuted 2 weeks ago and attacked the Usos. Mm-hmm. So WWE's trying to plant that seed. Okay, well then, and then last week they went further by having him attack. They had the backstage vignette of AJ and Gallows and Anderson being buddies and talking and having fun. And then Gallows and Anderson attacked Reigns. So WWE's trying to plant, they want you to think, oh, okay, these guys know each other, blah, blah, blah. They're getting back together. And I think you and I share the same opinion. What I thought was the curveball was coming in the fact that Gallows and Anderson were not going to side with AJ. They were going to turn on him at Payback, and whether Roman was the head of the Bullet Club or Bulletproof, or they called it the Roman Empire or whatever, but Gallows and Anderson were going to be Roman's hired thugs. And I think you shared that same – you thought that it was obvious that's the way they were going.
Absolutely.
I don't know anymore if that's the way they're going. Maybe they're throwing us another curveball, and Roman's not – they're not going to be with Roman. They're not going to be with AJ. Finn's going to be the leader. But then that kind of makes Finn a heel, which I don't know if that's the right move.
Yeah, I don't think it is. But I mean, just because I can't see Finn as a heel, mainly because the merchandise that this guy sells, which is just be crazy anyway. That entrance. I mean, again, unless he just drops the entrance, which would be foolish in my opinion. There's so many variables with this, and one, I like that we don't know what's going on. I like that there's so much mystery to this right now. But here's a question I have for you with this. Is this to get where they're going with this whole Bullet Club angle, and is it in any way to possibly help Roman in any way? Like, is it a way to help maybe do something with Roman? Like, is it just something strictly for the Bullet Club?
My question would be, how did it?
I mean, I don't know how, but I'm just saying, like,
we'll start this by let me answer your question with a question. How does that help Roman?
Well, no, I mean, I'm kind of asking too. I'm just saying, like, is there something here to benefit Roman? Because, their whole money and their marketing and everything is still Roman right now. He's the guy, as we all know, he's the guy. We've heard it 1,000 times. So I guess what I'm wondering is there going to be some way in this to benefit him? He is the WWE champion. Again, now, unless they, for some reason, are going with Styles as the champion, which I do not see happening. But that would be an interesting curveball. Let's say if Styles did win the title at Payback and they go with this whole, Bullet Club thing. I don't know.
I don't think there's any chance that Styles wins the title.
I don't either. But
not especially not with this now, and I didn't think it before. Roman's going to keep the title for a long time. I mean, I think it benefits Roman in the fact that the Bullet Club and these guys worldwide, not so much in the WWE sphere right now, at least the main roster sphere that has more casual fans, but especially with the hardcore fans, these guys are some of the most popular guys in the world right now. So obviously Roman is going to be the only thing that I could see possibly in WWE's minds, and I don't think it's going to work because the internet fans hate Roman, is unless the WWE thinks that sicking the Bullet Club on Roman is going to help Roman become a babyface, which I don't think it does. I think if he just beats the Bullet Club, it's just going to make him even bigger of a heel in the internet fans' eyes. So I don't think there's any way it necessarily helps Roman other than the fact that Roman is going to be the centerpiece of the biggest angle on WWE TV right now.
Yeah.
Further establishing him as the new number one guy.
Again, that was just something, because like I said, everything is so revolved around him right now, I think anyways, around Roman, that I just was kind of I was curious, maybe they're trying to work something in with him to because they've tried everything to get him over the way they want him to be anyways, but I don't know, we'll see what happens.
Now the next thing we need to go is, when does his debut happen and how does it happen? Because like I said, there's video of him telling the NXT fans, I'll see you on Monday. And I'm going to be honest, I think if he shows up Monday, that is a mistake.
100%.
You need – and I mean, Gallows and Anderson are supposedly wrestling Monday. I think that's a mistake. You have to build this up. If this is going to be your centerpiece angle, you have to put some time into it and make it special. Stop rushing stuff. I mean – I'm okay with – if this is happening, here's how I think it should go down. And I will not take credit for this because I did see it from Doug McDonald, who works for Wrestle Reaction on Twitter, and I think it's the perfect scenario. The Payback match happens. Gallows and Anderson cost AJ the match. Roman's confused. AJ's confused. Payback goes off the air with Balor. You know, when Balor makes his non-demon entrance, he has this big spotlight and it shows his leather jacket. And I think at the house show last night, his leather jacket said Bulletproof Balor Club on the back of it. So, you know, it goes off. Payback goes off the air with Finn making his WWE main roster debut. Then maybe the next Monday, then Finn, you know, you can start pushing Finn versus AJ, or, you know, Finn versus AJ versus Roman, whatever. But you got to put some time into this stuff. If they blow the whole angle Monday and Finn shows up, they attack AJ, I think that is absolutely stupid.
Yeah. The only reason why I could see that happening is because they're so big on this. You know, they're trying to, you know, I'm assuming that Shane McMahon has control of Raw again this Monday coming up. We're assuming that.
I'm sure the social media will.
Yes, we've all voted for him to take over Raw again. Yes,
whatever.
But I mean, you know, and he's had this whole lead, you know, going into Payback, and I think this is the last one. We're going into the home stretch there, but like, you know, and I've heard even the Authority may be coming back this Monday. I'm not sure about that at all either. But if this is supposed to be his last one, he's supposed to make a big splash. You know, the last one with Shane McMahon. Is that how they do it? And he brings in Finn Balor, and they do this whole Bullet Club thing there.
I don't. I don't
like that necessarily.
You just said something about the Authority coming back Monday. So the Bullet Club, whether they are booed, the way they're setting it up, with the Bullet Club are going to be heels in character at least. So what if it's AJ and Roman kind of in an uneasy alliance with Shane, and we know it's public knowledge that Balor is Triple H's boy. What if the Authority brings in the Bullet Club to reestablish power? The only reason I hate that is because they're going to get the face reaction, you know, just because of Roman, you know. Well, that's going to happen. Yeah, I mean, that's going to happen. You can't. I mean, it's not going to. You can't get away from that. I don't know. I mean, maybe theoretically, if you have AJ and Roman kind of being the driving forces for Shane McMahon, maybe Shane McMahon and AJ can counterbalance the Roman hate and give Roman at least a mixed reaction. Maybe I'm stretching there.
Yeah,
I realize that, but if the Authority comes back, I think the more realistic approach, or the more realistic option, is Triple H is pissed. Roman took his title, even though there's no real explanation. Shane apparently has taken his power. So Triple H has brought in some higher guns to reestablish himself as the power. And then you move into the summer of Bulletproof Balor Club, whatever the hell they're going to be called, and Triple H, you know, and maybe you move into SummerSlam is some kind of deal where it's the main event is some kind of 4-on-4 match or Battleground, maybe Battleground, since, you know, the main event is some kind of 4-on-4 match with Anderson, Gallows, and Balor, and Triple H versus Roman, AJ, a fourth, and Shane, or something like that. I mean, the one thing I will say, you know, we can talk all day about possibilities. That's the thing I love about this, is for the first time in a long time with WWE, it's not obvious where they're going.
Yeah.
This Balor curveball of last night gives people, I mean, Balor could come up and be in the Bullet Club, or, you know, maybe Balor and AJ work together against Anderson and Gallows. I don't like that, but maybe they do that. Maybe Triple H is bringing them back in. Who knows? Maybe this is all just a bunch of work from these guys, because these guys get off on working the fans these days. And Balor's going to stay in NXT. Maybe he is legitimately hurt. We don't know that. I mean, nobody knows what is for sure going on, and that's what makes this great.
Absolutely. The mystery to this whole thing is that there's finally mystery in wrestling again for a while. You know, we don't know when the next one's coming up. We don't know when the next big storyline's happening. We don't know what's happening to Authority, Shane McMahon. It's all a mystery right now, and that's just fantastic, I think.
Yeah, I mean, and you know that, Seth's coming back soon.
Yeah.
Cena's coming back soon. I don't expect Cena to get in this angle, but Seth
where do they go? Where do they go?
Seth, I mean, if this is a major angle, Seth is going to be a babyface. So if Shane, Seth is going to be on, and he's going to be against Triple H. So let's say, Seth might be in that SummerSlam scenario, that 4-on-4 match I laid out. Seth would probably be the logical fourth. AJ, Seth, and Roman and Shane versus the Bullet Club and Triple H. But that is for the first time in a long time. There is some unpredictability to what WWE is doing. And that's what we all loved about the Attitude Era and about, even the few years after that, is you never knew what was going to happen. The last few years, it was predetermined. I mean, it's all predetermined, but you've known for 2 years that Roman was the guy. You've known since he finished second in the Royal Rumble that Batista won. I mean, you knew at that point Roman was going somewhere. Roman was going to be the new guy. We heard it when he came up.
Yeah, everything was, I always use this term, like it was all cookie cut. We always knew what the next step was before they really even knew it. That's the thing that was just, it was just everyone was hated about it, and now, like you said, it's not.
Yeah, bringing in these guys, this random dropping the NXT Championship at a house show. I mean, WWE it makes me think, and granted, a couple of good weeks doesn't fix the last couple of years. It makes me think that WWE realizes that their product has really been struggling, and they want to change some stuff, and they want to get better, and they are. It's been a lot better the last couple of years. Raw wasn't great this Monday, but it's never great in the UK because they know that you find out the majority of the fans know what happened before it ever went on the air.
Well, yeah, and a lot of people were complaining about the ratings this past Monday, and that's the exact same thing I was thinking. I mean, the UK shows do not do that well. You don't see as much happening. The crowds are good, but you just don't see. They're basically a filler episode, in my opinion.
And to wrap all this up, I think what WWE, which is the smart thing about doing it, even though it seemed random when it broke last night, the smart thing about doing this at an NXT house show on a freaking Thursday night is you have 4 days now for fans to want to watch Raw and expect Balor to possibly show up. And you have 4 days for fans to possibly, filter the news out. And I mean, I'm not saying you're going to go from whatever, I don't know what it was, the low 3 million to like 5 million next week. But I bet you see a spike, even if it's just a couple 100,000. I bet you see a spike in viewership Monday because of this.
Yes.
And now Payback is going to be, people are going to want to watch Payback more. And I bet you, we may not see the numbers, but I bet you there's an uptick in subscribers on the network now because of this.
So, well, go ahead. Well, again, I was just going to ask you, does that make you, so you're like me, you don't hate the whole him dropping at a house show, right? Because I love it. I thought it was what they needed for now. Like, it doesn't need to happen all the time, but it's good for what it is in this situation, I think.
When it first happened, when it first broke last night, I thought it was really weird. But the more I sit back and think about it, absolutely not. I think it's great because of what we've talked about. It adds such a layer of unpredictability to WWE now that, yes, I think it's perfect.
Yeah. If you listen to it, that crowd was amazing there, too. I mean, they were into it.
At the end of the day, I mean, yes, NXT has became its own brand, but it's still not WWE. No. So you can get away with dropping the NXT title at a house show, whereas you don't really need to do that with the WWE Championship.
Oh, no.
No, I have no issue with it whatsoever because, and the main thing is what I just said. The WWE has 4 days now for this to simmer. What's going to happen? Is Finn going to show up Monday? Is he going to show up on Payback? Is this all, and the internet and all the sites and all the,
all that stuff. Yeah.
All that stuff is just going to churn stuff. I mean, look at us. I mean, it made me want to stop in the couple hours I had free today and do a live show so we could get something out. I mean, that's what it does to anybody in the wrestling community. This is going to be the major topic for the next few days, is Finn Balor joining the Bullet Club. And from that aspect alone, doing it was freaking genius.
Absolutely. Yeah, I didn't understand why fans were complaining about it. They said it diminished the NXT title because they, did a house show. I was like, absolutely not. I mean, again, for what they're wanting to do, and like you said, spike the ratings, which they sort of need, this was the perfect plan, in my opinion.
And I'll tell you, with Corbin, Cruz, Balor, most likely going up, I'll tell you what to close this little show we're doing, what direction I would go immediately with NXT is I would book a freaking Samoa Joe versus Nakamura program now.
Well, I saw that on Instagram. They've already faced or they're about to face soon. I don't know if you saw that or not.
No, I did not. That would be because not only is Nakamura the big, prized possession of NXT right now, you want to talk about some hard-hitting, badass matches.
Yeah. Strong style completely in that. Absolutely.
Yeah. That's where I would go because, I mean, off the top of my head, unless you're going to put Austin Aries and, go Samoa Joe, go straight TNA, go Austin Aries versus Samoa Joe or Bobby Roode versus Samoa Joe, I don't know where else you go.
Well, yeah, NXT has lost a lot, and now they've lost potentially their flag bearer in Finn Balor. So, and to me, Samoa Joe's got the title now, but it's Nakamura who's going to be carrying that thing for the next however many months, in my opinion.
I don't know. I don't know that Nakamura's staying that long.
Well, who knows how many of them are staying that long? I mean, seriously, look how many have been called up. And I mean, who thought Apollo Crews? I figured he might be, the guy to do it for a while. And then he got
Apollo Crews needs to go back down.
Yeah, I'm totally in agreement with you.
So let's wrap this up with this. You tell me, does Finn Balor show up Monday or does he show up at Payback?
I want him to show up at Payback, but I can see him showing up Monday. Honestly, I think just like I said, the scenario I gave you earlier, where like they're wanting to do this kind of shock TV and the whole thing with Shane McMahon. If they threaten that this is his last week, why not have him be like, okay, I've got one last surprise and bring out Finn Balor?
I'll say this. I kind of lean with you, but if he shows up Monday, you cannot give away his, allegiance. You cannot show that they're turning on AJ. Finn just has to show up and leave it at that. Leave mystery to it. And then at Payback, Gallows and Anderson can turn on AJ, or if they're all four going together, then they all four beat down Roman, whatever. But if you're going to debut him on Monday, do not give it away. Leave something for the pay-per-view. Just like you're making people want to watch Raw by having Finn drop the NXT Championship on a Thursday night. Make us want to watch Payback to figure out what they're going to do. Don't give it away. You've got something going in the right direction. Keep this going. Keep the momentum going.
They have to have that cliffhanger to give you the incentive to buy Payback, and also don't have him on SmackDown either. Don't have him cut a promo. Nothing like that. Keep him off. Keep all of them off SmackDown.
All that should happen on SmackDown is they need to show video packages showing his debut, and we don't know what and tell the story of we have no idea why he's here. Mm-hmm. We know he knows these guys, but what's he doing here? He leave some mystery to it so that Payback. You're already building a good card, and this will just further. If you do this right, this will just make this show even better. So that's what I hope and pray WWE does. They have to do this right. If they blow it all on Monday, I mean, it's still going to be cool, but it's not going to be near as good as it can be.
No.
All right. Well, I think that's it for us today. We just wanted to hop on and do a quick Finn Balor show. We'll be back next week with our usual audio podcast on Audio Boom and iTunes. Make sure you're following Shane at SShoemaker24. You see my Twitter on the screen. Make sure you're following our work at csrwrestling.com, and we'll see you later.